The Lion of the Carnatic, Stringer Lawrence. The name may not resonate like those of Clive or Wellington, but in the annals of British military history, it deserves a place of honor. He was a soldier's soldier, a leader of men, and the architect of British military dominance in India. He is rightfully known as the father of the Indian Army. Lawrence's story is not one of aristocratic privilege or political maneuvering. It is a tale of grit, determination, and an unwavering commitment to duty on the scorching battlefields of 18th century India. This is the story of how a young man from a humble background rose through the ranks to leave an indelible mark on the course of history. A soldier's beginnings. Stringer Lawrence was born in the West Country of England in 1697. His early life provided little indication of the pivotal role he would play on the world stage. Details of his childhood remain shrouded in the mists of time, but we know he was commissioned into the British Army in 1727. Lawrence's early military career was marked by service in Flanders and Minorca, tough proving grounds that honed his skills as a soldier and a leader. However, his destiny lay far beyond the battlefields of Europe. In 1748, he set sail for a new theatre of war India.
From the quiet fields of England to the distant shores of India, my journey began. Little did I know, my true calling awaited me in the heat of battle and the chaos of war.
Forging a new army. At the time, India was a patchwork of competing kingdoms and European trading companies vying for power and wealth. The British East India Company, ostensibly a merchant venture, found itself increasingly drawn into local conflicts. It was in this volatile environment that Lawrence's talents came to the fore. Recognizing the need for a well-trained and disciplined force, Lawrence set about transforming the company's ragtag units into a professional fighting force. He drew inspiration from European military traditions while adapting his tactics and organization to the unique challenges of campaigning in India.
Under Lawrence's command, we were not just soldiers, we were a brotherhood. He respected us, trained us, and made us believe in our strength. We were ready to face any enemy.
Crucially, Lawrence understood the importance of integrating local soldiers, known as sepoys, into the British ranks. He saw their potential and treated them with respect, earning their loyalty and forming the bedrock of what would become the Indian Army. Triumph at Arcot. Lawrence's military genius was first displayed on a grand scale during the siege of Arcot in 1751. Leading a small force of British soldiers and sepoys, he boldly seized the fortress city of Arcot, a key stronghold in the Carnatic region of southeast India. The siege that followed was a grueling test of endurance and tactical acumen. For 57 days, Lawrence and his men withstood constant attacks by a much larger enemy force. They endured scorching heat, dwindling supplies, and the ever-present threat of disease.
Under Lawrence's command, we faced insurmountable odds. His unwavering resolve and strategic brilliance kept us going even when hope seemed lost.
Against all odds, Lawrence held firm. His determined defense and strategic brilliance demoralized the enemy, forcing them to abandon the siege. The victory at Arcot resonated throughout India, establishing British military superiority and marking Lawrence as a commander of exceptional ability. The Battle for Trichinopoli. Lawrence's triumph at Arcot was followed by another decisive victory at the Battle of Trichinopoli in 1753. This time, he faced the formidable French forces allied with local rulers who sought to challenge British dominance. The battle raged for months, a seesawing struggle for control of the strategic city of Trichinopoli.
Lawrence, always calm under pressure, outmaneuvered his opponents, securing vital supply lines and inflicting heavy losses on the enemy.
His victory at Trichinopoli effectively ended French hopes of supremacy in the Carnatic and solidified British control of the region. It further cemented Lawrence's reputation as a brilliant tactician and a master of 18th century warfare. Mentoring a young Clive. Stringer Lawrence's impact extended far beyond his own victories on the battlefield. He was a gifted mentor, shaping the careers of a generation of British officers who would go on to expand the British Empire.
Among his protégés was a young clerk named Robert Clive, destined to become one of the most famous figures in British Indian history.
Lawrence recognized Clive's potential early on, taking him under his wing and instilling in him the principles of leadership, discipline, and tactical awareness.
Clive learned much from his mentor, observing firsthand Lawrence's ability to inspire his troops and adapt his strategies to the challenges of Indian warfare.
The relationship between Lawrence and Clive was one of mutual respect and admiration. Even after achieving fame and fortune, Clive always acknowledged the debt he owed to his mentor, referring to Lawrence as that very deserving man who had taught him all I know of war.
The Third Carnatic War.
Lawrence's leadership proved crucial during the Third Carnatic War, which spanned from 1757 to 1763. This conflict pitted Britain against France in a final struggle for supremacy in India. Although past his prime, Lawrence's experience and judgment were invaluable to the British war effort.
He played a key role in coordinating British forces and advising younger commanders like Sir Eyre Coote. His strategic insights helped secure vital victories and ultimately led to the Treaty of Paris in 1763, which recognized British dominance in India.
Lawrence's contributions during the Third Carnatic War cemented his legacy as one of the most successful British commanders in India. His ability to adapt to changing circumstances, inspire his troops, and outmaneuver his opponents ensured his place in the pantheon of military greats.
A legacy forged in fire.
Stringer Lawrence's legacy is multifaceted. He was a gifted battlefield commander, a skilled organizer, and a respected mentor. He laid the foundations for the British Raj, the period of British rule in India that would last for almost 2 centuries.
His greatest achievement was undoubtedly the establishment of a professional, disciplined, and highly effective army in India. By blending British military traditions with local customs and practices, Lawrence created a force that was both formidable and adaptable.
Moreover, Lawrence's emphasis on discipline, training, and treating his Indian sepoys with respect set a precedent that, while not always followed by his successors, contributed to the long-term success of the British Indian Army. This legacy of military excellence continues to this day in the modern Indian Army, which draws inspiration from its rich and complex history. The father of the Indian Army. Stringer Lawrence is rightfully known as the father of the Indian Army. He was a visionary leader who recognized the strategic importance of India and laid the groundwork for British dominance in the region. His reforms, his victories, and his mentorship of future leaders like Robert Clive shaped the course of history. Lawrence's story is a testament to the power of leadership, determination, and the enduring impact one individual can have on the world stage. He may not be a household name, but his contributions to British military history, and indeed to the history of India itself, are undeniable. Conclusion: a lasting impact. Stringer Lawrence's story is not just a tale of military conquest. It is a reminder of the complex and often overlooked history of British involvement in India. It is a story of cross-cultural encounters, military innovation, and the lasting legacies, both positive and negative, of empire. As we reflect on the life and career of Stringer Lawrence, we are reminded of the importance of understanding history in all its complexity. We are challenged to look beyond familiar narratives and explore the lives of those who, like Lawrence, played a pivotal role in shaping the world we live in today.